Hey y'all, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the speed build creation of Winter Village. So this speed build is inspired by a Christmas village display that you will often see in windows inside of malls, and I really love the way that this came out. Though it's inspired by a display, I wanted it to be more interactive so that any of the Sims who come here can have some things to do and it actually be functional. So this lot is on the empty 50 by 50 lot in Mount Komorebi, but it is listed as generic and it is up on a gallery. So in the description I will leave the link to this if you want to download it, and at the end of the video that you will stick around for, because I know you're going to have fun, you will see all of the screenshots. There are quite a bit of them, but I wanted to show off all of the detail of this build. So right now I have already placed the tree, which is the focal point of this build, in a few food stalls that surround the tree. And right now I am building some other stalls that are supposed to be merchant stalls, but sadly you cannot have multiple lot types in Sims, so there is no one here actually selling these items, but imagination is key. SpongeBob said it, imagination. So that's what we're going to use with this. So the first stall that I am building is a ski stall. I figured that we are in Mount Komorebi and you need some ski stuff, you know, to hit the slopes, and it's also snowboarding stuff too. So that's just what I'm putting here. I'm putting some of the sleds that are actually debug items, the short ones and the long ones. And I am putting the rack of skis. In this moment, I wish that I had the tools mod, because I wanted to put some stuff on the wall. I don't know if you can put stuff on the wall with the tool mod, but I at least wanted the option. Just to have a few snowboards on the wall and display them, I think that would have been really cool. I also put a register and a chair just to again act like there is someone who can help you check out, even though sadly that is not possible. And on the inside I did decorate it a little bit for the holidays. Nothing too crazy, but just something to add into the festive joy. I didn't do it yet, but on the outside I add a few stars on top just to make it, you know, more festive, and some wreaths. And then what you will see me do here in a second is I close off this build so that it is counted as a room. I copy it and then I paste it on the other side of these stalls, but just going the opposite way, so that the back of these stalls there isn't just a blank wall. I wanted there to be a little bit more dimension, but I honestly couldn't think of enough things to put in 6 different stalls, so I just copied it, because I figure most places like this, multiple vendors do sell the same things just in case one place sells out. So I thought that that was fine. Plus imagination. On the side of the stall I add a few lights and a couple decorations so that it's not so blank. I will say that I am not a fan of these hanging lights. I don't like the yellow color. I just overall don't like the way that they look. They just are not that cute and they don't illuminate enough, and darkness in this area is something that I struggle with. So the next stall that we are moving into is the Nutcracker stall. Ideally, if this game has some Santas, it would have been like a Nutcracker Santa type of combination, but we don't. And actually I was going to put some gnomes in this area, but y'all, I have like a little bit of a fear of the gnomes in this game, particularly from that holiday where you have to appease a gnome. I have yet to successfully appease a gnome, and I always get electrocuted, or the gnome is standing at the foot of my bed being a creep. So I put some gnomes in here, but I took them out because I was afraid that they might come to life when I start the game. I don't trust those gnomes, okay? I have gnome trust issues. But yeah, so just to be on the safe side, I just made this a Nutcracker stand. And I also wish that there was a little bit more variety. Majority of the items in this build are from seasons in the free holiday pack, but I also use Get to Work and Snowy Escape. But primarily it's just seasons in the holiday pack. And between the two, for winter, there really aren't a lot of items, but thankfully I was able to make it work with this being a store type of thing. You know, having multiples is okay, because ideally someone would be purchasing these. And again, I copied this building like the other one and pasted it on the other side. And the third stall, which I cut out me building it, is just artwork. Every time I think of winter, I think of blue, so I just did a lot of artwork. Originally, this was going to be something else, but it didn't work out. And I figure people like to paint, so, you know, Sims love to paint, so why not? And again, I just closed it and copied it, pasted it on the other side. And I really like the way this came out. It came out exactly how I wanted it to. And I just only wish that you could have actual Sims work the register and that this could be listed as a little retail lot, but it's okay. It's okay. Again, we're taking the SpongeBob way, using imagination. And right now I'm just going through and adding some additional details just to make it a little bit more festive, a little bit more holiday, and still trying to make this place have some light. Again, I really struggled with this area having pits of darkness, and I was just not a fan of that. I did my best to light it, but also not make the lighting look so obnoxious and just not fit. But had to work with what we're given. I also realized that that snowman is made out of sand, and I find that very, very strange that it's made out of sand and not snow. I mean, I understand why, because like the snow will melt, but this is a snowy escape. Like, they should at least have a real snowman, unless they do and I just don't see it. Anyway, so I put some stalls on the right side of the tree if you were facing it, and now we are working onto the upper level portion of this lot, which is where all of the cabins and shops will be, the additional shops. So originally I was going to have this platform wrap around the entire place. I thought that that just took up a little bit too much space. I did want this place, even though it was on a 50 by 50 lot, I still wanted it to feel intimate. It'd be a little bit more close together and not have so much empty space between everything and be super spread out, because one, it would have been a little bit hard to take a picture of that in the screenshots, and two, that's just not what I wanted. So the first thing that I build up on this upper level platform section is a cabin, and this is just a cabin for seating, just in case it gets a little bit too cold outside. You can go in here, warm up, sit down with some friends, you know, eat your food that you got from the stall. And there is outside seating in this place as well, but ideally I was thinking about it being freezing outside, so you know, you want a place to sit down indoors. So this place is nothing too special. I did put TV because Sims love TV and it's decorated for the holidays. But again, it's nothing too crazy, just a couple couches. This one is my second favorite building on the inside. And I just like the way that the outside looks. I just like the way that the outside looks too. And I also put some of those string lights because I love them. I'm just so happy. Those came with City Living. So City Living actually like has a lot of cool things. Same with Get to Work, which is interesting because when I first got those packs, I didn't really see it, but now I see it. I mean, I like that City Living has apartments, but the build buy items, I didn't use them a lot at first, but now I'm like, okay, I see it. I get you. So now this building is the little cafe area. A very small cafe, and there is a bathroom on the second floor. So this is the only cabin building that utilizes the second story. All of the other ones do not. It is there merely for decoration. So there are two bathrooms, very lackluster, upstairs, along with some additional seating upstairs. And again, downstairs is just a tiny cafe area, only with 4 little tables. I love the way the exterior of this came out with all of them. This is actually my second time building this village. The first time it was a little bit too big and it just wasn't hitting, but this one, def feel like I bodied this, you know, not to toot my own horn, but toot. So yeah, so that's what we're doing with this one. The tables that I use, absolutely obsessed. They are from Eco Lifestyle, I think that's the name, the Eco Pack. However, to find them, you have to go under Surfaces and then go under Miscellaneous. I don't know why. I feel like they should go under dining tables, and I wish that this game had more high tables to be as a dining room table, because sometimes in my builds, if I don't want to do like a kitchen island, I would love to do a higher table. You know, we don't, or at least I only have those circle ones, but thankfully I have those and I love them. I use them every chance that I get. I just wish they came in a little bit more variety, and we also had one that was that high that's not from Dine Out, because the one from Dine Out has a very specific print and I don't always like it. Anyway, so we're up to the upstairs part again. I just added some additional seating and a couple radios. All of the buildings in this area have at least one radio, because in my mind it was playing like holiday music, like, you know, the iconic Mariah Carey song. And for the paint, I kept it very simple. I didn't really know what to paint this place, but I was trying to go with a red-green type of theme since this is a winter village for the holidays. And yeah, I didn't imagine the second floor of this place being used a lot, so I really didn't go too crazy with the decorations. I just added a little bit of something something, and plus this is supposed to be a commercial lot, so I figure I didn't really have to go super crazy. So the next building that we are working on is my favorite. Well, the exterior is my favorite. So you will see that this is one of 3 buildings that are essentially row homes that have shops at the bottom. And this one in particular that will be utilized is the Christmas tree shop. So in my mind, I imagine this being like a place where, like, you know how people sell trees on the side of the road? I imagine that, but indoors. Or I imagined how Target has like the various trees set up when you go into the aisle, but we don't have a lot of tree variants, and I didn't want to use just the same old trees repeated throughout this build. So I like tried to scale them up, scale them down, and I could have used the outdoor trees, but I just didn't. I just felt like they would have just looked kind of weird, just a bare tree with no lights or anything on it. So I just kept the ones that were already decorated. In the building next to it, the windows from Snowy Escape that had the little cover over it, I'm so happy that we have those windows. It was actually my first time using them in this build, and again, the only building that is decorated is the one in the middle. When I went to take screenshots, I didn't want you to be able to see through an empty building, so I tried to put some decorations on the outside to kind of mask that so that you can't see it. Overall, keep it as if this is a building that's in use, even though it's not. You can only go into the one in the middle. And like all of the others, I still put a register in. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know if it's possible, we can have one lot have multiple lot types, because that would have made this build just pop off real. Like, it would have been icing on top of the cake, but you know, it's okay. It is perfectly okay. Yeah, I still think this building came out really nice. I will say I like the outside more than the inside because we don't have a lot of tree variety, so I couldn't make it as festive as I wanted to, but I still think it came out nice. Also, I don't show me building it, but I believe you may be able to see it, or you have already seen it. There is a train to the right of this place, which is to the right of the tree. In the Christmas village displays that I saw, they all had like a train running through it, and so I wanted to do that. The tracks that I was able to find in debug, which mainly came from Eco Lifestyle, don't curve. They only go straight, or they have like a slight bend, but nothing too crazy. Like, I would love to have tracks wrap around the tree, but I just don't have that in my game. Plus, we know this game doesn't really mess with circles, so I just added a little train. The tracks do start near the entrance. I was able to find like a little chain that kind of blocks it off, and I wanted to use another train that the game had, but when I tell y'all, it looked so bad. It just looked so pixelated and blurry and just ugly. I was like, I cannot use this. This is just disrespectful. So I had to use that one, and you will see it in the screenshots at the end because you're having fun, right? So you're gonna stick around. Plus, we're almost at the end. I just decorated it a little bit. And also, there are mailboxes around this place that in my mind are used to deliver letters to Santa so that children can use them to put letters in. You can't make them red, but that's what the mailboxes are for. And I also put some wreaths on the light post posts around the place so that you'll see that in the screenshots, but I just thought that looked so cute. So anyway, the last build that we have is a children's toy store. This toy store is ideally for toddlers. I don't have a lot of toddler stuff in my game, I've noticed, so I was on the struggle bus a little bit with this, a lot of it. I did it one time and then I was like, I don't like the way that this looks. So you'll kind of see that there's a bunch of furniture pushed to the middle. That's because I just didn't know what to do. So, however, since it is for toddlers, I wanted to make it really bright. So I made every wall a different color. I love doing that anytime I do anything for toddlers. And I wanted there against the wall. So I just looked up like a toy store. And I tried to make this like a Toys R Us American Girl doll store mashup, but bootleg version. Like I should call my store a bootleg version, but just like not that. Like it's inspired by that, like, but not really, you know? It's the fraternal twin of those two stores. So since I don't have a lot of toddler stuff, against the walls I wanted there to be cubbies. Ideally that would have different toys in them or like little outfits and dolls and stuff like that, but I don't have that. So I found this ottoman that thankfully is a cubby and has books in it, and I just stacked them on top of each other, trying to make it look like little stairs. I just put that big bear on top of it because in my mind in real life I could totally see a toddler trying to climb up there, so I put the bear so that they won't do it. And then on the opposite side I just put a couple bookcases. This side is more like the chill spot. I will put some chairs there so that the toddler can just chillax, relax, even though they are never relaxed beings, but ideally this is what this area is for. And on top of these tables I just added some bears because I kept thinking about those big bears that are in like IKEA and the grocery store, and that's just what I was trying to imitate here because, you know, it's cold outside. We like to snuggle, so why not? And then yeah, so we are basically coming to the end of this build. I'm trying to actually talk about the builds more in my voiceover, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, at the end you will see all of the screenshots for this place, and I will have a link to the gallery in the description box. I didn't mention this is a 100% CC free build, and you can get it on the gallery for the low price of free 99. So yeah, that link will be down there and all other important information. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite building is, and I will see you in my next video.